Over Navratilova 6-2 in the first set. Things going with the serve in the second. Let's go back to Wimbledon.
78. It's long. Martina won this in 1978, and Monica Seles at the time was 4 years old. Here they are in the semifinals.
And Monica wasn't even born yet when Martina appeared at her first Wimbledon. 1973 was Martina's first Wimbledon.
Oh! 30 love.
Martina's quote is saying, "It's all special because it's Wimbledon. This is where the tennis players want to be, and the better athlete you are, the better you'll be on the grass. If you have quick hands, the grass rewards you more than others." She's going to need quick hands today.
And really what a credit to Martina for her longevity actually out here. There aren't many that can last this long, but she's so fit physically that you know, her physical abilities have really kept her out here.
This is something that Seles does so well on the short ball. It's low, but look how she gets over the top of it, clears the net with a little safety, and hit it with some authority. Normally when the ball's that low, not many people can do that.
And with the two hands, it means she just has to get that much closer to the ball, which means she has to move quickly, and her movement is really underrated, underestimated. Good tactic from Navratilova.
40-30.
That's obviously what she's trying to get accomplished. Her game is one way: serve and volley, attack, get in as quickly as possible. And the Seles second serve is the best opportunity for that.
Long.
Game Seles. 1 game all.
Monica's putting her hand up because her last shot hit the net post and it just about hit the let court judge. They have been hit several times here throughout this fortnight, so games are 1-all.
Love.
Good swinging serve from Navratilova. Obviously her serve is her best chance to get into the net, but she must serve well because Seles has the best return of serve in the women's game. Frustration because the power from the Seles ground stroke here just meant that Navratilova was just a little bit late to react to this. She's not really looking for the one up the line. It was just a second late. That's why she hit it wide.
It's a good point. You don't get a feeling on television for the speed of the ball. It's really traveling.
30-15.
Before this started, Betsy, Seles said, you know, grass scares me, but this is a tournament that I've never won. I'd love to win it very much. She's won her last 5 Grand Slam tournaments.
Seles hasn't lost in a Grand Slam tournament for 2 years. The last time she lost was in the 3rd round at the U.S. Open to Linda Ferrando in a very close 3-set match. And
huge upset.
Huge upset.
First serve.
But it's funny to hear Seles say she's scared of the grass and she needs more guts. Well, there's nobody playing tennis that has more guts than Monica Seles. A jamming serve and good improvisation there from Monica Seles to get her racket on that ball and then come up with a winner.
That's a good word, because in tennis, this flight of tennis, this class, you have to improvise a lot, because they hit it in such spots that it's not the kind of things you practice all the time.
Game is Navratilova.
Navratilova now leads 2-1 in this set. She is seeded 4th in this event. And Monica Seles, of course, the reigning world's champion, is seeded number 1.
Love 15.
And this is the 2nd consecutive Grand Slam tournament that the top 4 seeds have all made it to the last 4. 2 weeks ago at the French Open it happened. Good forehand from Martina here. This is the shot she likes to hit. She powers this one, comes in behind it. It's a shot she likes to come in from.
Seles' ball's been a little short in the court, and Martina's taking advantage.
First serve.
Been a long time since actually the top 4 seeds had all reached the semifinals of a Grand Slam tournament. That's what happens with anything loose hanging around the midcourt when you play Monica Seles. She can punish a ball so quickly and so easily from midcourt section.
Approach was long.
30 all.
She gets a little applause for her ability to catch that ball with one hand, but Martina has to try to get that ball deep, because if she doesn't get it deep, she gets past. It was a good effort on her part, just barely over the baseline. 30 all.
A good aggressive return. This had a lot of pace on it.
40.
It allowed Martina to get in nice and tight on top of the net. She got a pretty easy volley.
Break point now.
It's just, Martina was certainly trying to get into the net that time, but there was just nothing short enough or nothing slow enough that she could come in behind. She thought about this one.
She thought she hurt her, so she got out of position where she get a weak shot. Instead, she gets passed down the line. There's been a lot said about the grunting of Monica Seles here. As a matter of fact, her last opponent, Natalie Tosi out of France, complained to the umpire.
And this stare after this point right here may have just been a result of that grunting.
The complaint is that she grunts as she hits the ball, and tennis players rely heavily on the sound of the racket and the ball. You can tell how the ball's been struck, whether it's been hit with a lot of spin or just more pace. Sort of like a baseball player in America. They talk about going back with the crack of the bat. The sound tells you what kind of contact has been made. So they warned Seles, but they haven't done anything else.
Game to Seles. 2 games all.
Just to take that one step farther. Now, see, now they're going to talk to her about the grunt here right now. This is Fran McDowell, the umpire. And Monica says, and everybody believes her, she said, I'm trying to do better. I don't do it on purpose, and I certainly don't do it to throw anybody else off. And I'm doing the best I can. She's working on it. This is a tough time to have to make an adjustment in the semifinals of Wimbledon.
And Natalie Toziat was the first player to ever actually officially put in a complaint, and there's been a lot of talk about it. It's been in our meetings in the WTA Association, but it does get a little excessive, Monica's grunting. And as Martina says, she never does it when she practices, and she thinks that it's become such a habit that it's not that necessary for her to do in a match.
Well, there are a lot of people that have hit the ball hard over the years that don't grunt. That's a given. Chris Everett was quoted as saying, I played Monica a lot, and frankly, it didn't bother me at all. And I think the top players, it doesn't bother. Maybe some people farther down it does.
And she also went on to say that she actually feels sorry for Monica to have to deal with this at this time. But I think everybody knew it was coming. It's just an unfortunate time for it to be such a big controversy. I'll tell you one thing, though, there isn't anybody that doesn't try, she tries harder than anybody on every single shot. There's no way she could ever tank a match.
Now Martina's getting a little edgy now. She's mad at Monica because she was ready to serve. Monica wouldn't step up to get ready to receive.
40-15.
So she's getting a little testy. Navratilova leads 3-2, second set. Monica Seles serving at 2-3. The speed gun is checked.
Quiet, please.
Monica Seles' serve 107 miles an hour, along with Jennifer Capriati's.
That was one of the really surprising things for me, Tony, was just how hard Monica's been serving this entire championships. I mean, she's never really had to rely very much on her serve, and rather than resort to coming into the net and playing an attacking game, she really lifted the pace in her serve. And she's gotten a lot of cheap points.
You know why she didn't want to come to the net? She says, when I go to the net, I freeze. I just get scared from it. But she says, coming here, if I don't change my philosophy of how to play on grass, I think I'll have a tougher time.
Well, the approach is pretty deep, but Monica can find the angle. It was up the middle. It's very hard to find an angle like that.
40-15.
The Seles serve at 107 miles an hour computes to about 171 kilometers an hour. So it's moving.
Game is Seles. 3 games all.
Up to this point, Monica Seles in this term has not lost a set. She's only lost 4 games in this set twice. In the third round to Laura Gildermeister, she won 6-4, 6-1. The next round against Gigi Fernandez, 6-4, 6-2. So she has cruised throughout this tournament. On the other hand, Martina lost a set to Kimberly Poe in the second round. Played a couple 7-5 sets in the next 2 rounds.
15 love.
This is their 12th meeting, and Seles leads 6-5, and Seles has won 6 of the last 8 times they've played.
The second to the last time these two played was in an indoor tournament, and I saw that match, and it was one of the best matches I've seen for contrasting style. Serve and volley against the baseliner. Martina was at her best at her serve and volley game and just really barely won it.
Martina's getting better and better at the net. She's timing the ball better. She holds serve and now leads 4 games to 3, second set. Of age, her career prize money is already over $5 million in about 3 years of professional tennis. She turned pro February 13th, 1989.
15 love.
Like to welcome our viewers from Adelaide and to bring you up to date. Monica Seles has won the first set 6-2, and she is serving at 3-4, 15-all in the second set against Martina Navratilova.
30-15.
This is ladies semifinals, the first of the 2. Following this, we'll bring you Steffi Graf and Gabriela Sabatini. And then we'll be bringing you the completion of 2 men's quarterfinal matches that were completed earlier today. McEnroe Forget and Becker Agassi.
40-15.
Hit overhead, but it stayed in, and she won the point.
40-30.
Hit that one right down in the bottom of the frame, the head of the racket.
Rarely see Martina miss hit an overhead. That's one of her best shots.
She puts on the pressure, keeps attacking every chance she gets.
Advantage with Seles.
So games are 4-all, and Martina will be serving with new tennis balls. You're watching that young lady right there, who's won more tournaments, 159, than anybody in the history of the game, male or female. And her prize money, career prize money, is just under $18 million going into this event.
Unless the approach is absolutely perfect, that's the type of reply you get from Monica Seles.
Love 30.
The only other alternative, rather than to try to hit constantly deep approach shots, is to drop one very short, drawing Seles in, just to mix it up.
Got to be careful on that love 30.
15-30.
This is just a great first volley from Martina. Gets a lot of pace on it.
How about this one?
And this is a typical Martina. Great hands.
That's the quick hand she talked about, and she sure had him there. Navratilova leads 5-4 in the second set. Seles won the first.
Well, Belinda Goodwell, Martina making a game of it. 5-4 up in the second set.
As Seles comes out to serve at 4-5. That's just fantastic.
The approach here, the return of serve is pretty good. Monica's on the run, has to let go with her right hand, hits a left-handed forehand cross court for a winner with pace. Well, that's why she's the best in the world right now, because she can really come up with the goods when the pressure's on, when the pressure is applied to her.
That was a short approach, and should be handled that way, actually.
Martina's strategy was really to try to get Monica on the run before she tried to approach. Here she does it well. So on the run, Martina puts herself in a position for an easier volley.
It's long.
30 all.
Set point for Navratilova. That was a short ball that Betsy referred to earlier.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet,
Stayed
please.
low, and by the time Seles got to it, she could do nothing with it. It's tough to make an approach shot when you're moving toward the sideline to make your shot and then get into the net. And that's what Martina was doing. So the cross court was open.
Advantage with Seles.
Well, you heard somebody say too good, and that was Martina, acknowledging that last shot by Monica Seles.
Game with Seles. 5 games off.
That's the situation. 1 hour and 1 minute of play. 5-all in the second set. Fran McDowell and the umpire not going to overrule on something that close.
Love.
A couple of big serves from Martina in this game.
She's been serving into the body a little bit more too, and that one was the ideal serve. 40 love.
Picked the pace up on her first serve in this game. That's where Monica likes to take that forehand of hers. She likes to go cross court with a pass. The problem is she can go both ways.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so difficult. There's great disguise on the shots, and she can go down the line or cross court. Just missed. Navratilova, 6-5, second set.
Well, against Monica Seles, the way that she's hitting the ball, Martina Navratilova will be very disappointed not to put the second.
Monica's mother and father on the right of your screen. And Monica to serve to try to take the second set to a tie break.
Running around, hitting the forehand. Good volley. That's not an easy one. That was in an awkward position up high. The strength is what pays off there.
15 all.
That's the type of serve that Seles did not used to be able to hit and get a cheap point from. Now she's got more pace and she can direct it better.
One of those 107-mile-an-hour jobs.
30-15.
Monica served 7 aces in one match a couple of matches ago.
Game is Seles.
So we do go to a tie break. So the first player to reach 7 with at least a 2-point advantage will be the winner. If it is Seles, she will be in the finals. If it is Navratilova, we'll go to set number 3.
Good serve. This is the one she likes in the deuce court. And a lot of strength up there to be able to put that ball away.
That swinging forehand volley gets her in trouble sometimes.
It's cost her some big matches.
Miss Navratilova. Miss Navratilova.
If Martina doesn't make a terrific serve, Seles gets the return down and puts her in immediate trouble.
Miss Navratilova.
That's a good approach from Navratilova. She'd been taking that backhand cross court, leaving a lot of court open. That time she went up the line.
And made Seles let go and try to hit a one-hander, which she is capable of doing, but obviously that's not her preference. So Navratilova needs 4 points to 2.
Pretty pumped up Navratilova right now. She exhibits some great hands again. Very quick up here.
5-2.
She doesn't own all those doubles titles for nothing either.
Well, and she did have to guess because Seles had a choice of shot, so she's serving at 5-2.
Tony, you called it several games ago when she started to really key in at the net, started to hit her volleys a lot more solidly.
Started timing the volley, reading the pace on the shot, so 4 set points.
Miss Navratilova.
See, this serve sits up a little bit. Monica well inside the baseline, taking it early.
1 set point saved. It's still 3 more for Navratilova. And she's got the second set. Sets her
1-all.
7 games to 6. Really come alive. I mean, she's looking so alive at the net, and her hands are so quick. I think she's so pumped now. We're in for a great third set.
because they wanted to see a good match. They are seeing it. We're going to set number 3.
Quiet, please.
Seles to serve.
Love. Love.
Some big serving from Seles again. It'll be really interesting to see how this third set pans out, how Martina's nerves and courage hold up, and how hard Seles fights, and how well she continues to play on her least favorite surface, certainly her least. She has less experience on this surface than any other.
Seles wins the first game of the final set.
So a positive start for Monica there, and gee, she needed it, Belinda.
To have what we thought we would have, a fine contest, as Navratilova is about to serve at love 1 in the final set.
Well, you're right about that, Tony. Everything about this match provides for such a great contest because of the contrasting styles, age, personality, everything.
Love.
And don't forget, following this, we'll have Steffi Graf, the number 2 seed, against Gabriela Sabatini, who is seeded 3rd.
Hear Martina mutter, "Get up there." Well, it's tough when the return of serve is coming back quicker than you want it to.
She's saying get closer to the net, a better volleying position. Betsy, I wouldn't be surprised to see Seles come up with an offensive lob or two, because Martina's been closing after one volley, and she's made some of those stab volleys have gone back for winners.
Game is Navratilova.
Been on court an hour and 17 minutes. The lob, Tony, is something that Monica Seles should use and doesn't. I've played some doubles with her before, and she just simply refuses to lob, and she's got the perfect technique to hit a very offensive winning lob and just doesn't do it. That area right there of the court, that inside the service line, Seles is also very uncomfortable with. Martina's hit a couple of balls in that area. This is a little bit different story. The one in the right in the middle of the court, Seles has trouble with. This one, she's almost as though she's approaching up the line. And plus, I think that's her better side, backhand.
So a little opening here for Navratilova after that stab volley just dies over the net.
30 all.
That is the weaker side for Martina, the volley, the forehand. Not that it's weak, but she is more apt to miss one on that side than the backhand.
Game, Seles.
Seles leads 2-1 in the final set. Nine-time singles champion here, Martina Navratilova, doing a heck of a job and serving at 1-2 in the final set against the best player in the world.
15 love.
The other thing that Seles does, or another thing she does so well, she takes the ball so early. Martina made the half volley, and she pounced on it and got onto the ball and made her shot so quickly.
And she's just so instinctively aggressive.
Yeah, she has to have great eyes to take the ball that early as she does. Fran McDowell confirmed for Monica Seles that her return was wide, diffused a potential argument there. It's 30 all.
That was a real opening for Seles.
40-30.
Seles is definitely worried about this. She's questioned several calls, hasn't liked several calls.
She said, this is Martina's court. She knows every angle on this court. I know she's going to be tough. I think everyone knows that last year Seles won the Australian and French and then chose not to play here. She dropped out at the last moment mysteriously and then won the U.S. Open. Break point. Last year, Monica Seles got to the finals of all 16 tournaments she played in and won 10 of them. And that is some record. Big point here.
Deuce.
It's just astonishing that in her whole career, which is over 3 years, she's only lost 25 matches in singles.
First serve.
This is vintage Navratilova.
Big serve, hard serve, gets a fairly weakish return where Martina can use one of her weapons, which is her big forehand. After that first set, Navratilova's really keyed in up at the net, showing some great athleticism, some good hands, good reflexes.
No one in women's tennis makes that backhand stab volley like Martina does. It's now 2-all in the final set, and Monica Seles to serve with new tennis balls. showing them to her opponent.
Martina means to hit this return that short. This one she does. That one she likes, that backhand slice. She hits it so well cross court and then leaves a pretty wide gap there for the forehand up the line. In doubles, Martina hits that return of serve exceptionally well.
Love 30.
Speaking of doubles, Martina Navratilova is playing a doubles match later on this afternoon with her partner Pam Shriver. They're in the quarterfinals.
Seles is so good at getting you on the defensive with their power ground strokes and then keeping you there. And as well as Martina moves, she just could not track that last one down. This was a real mental lapse here for Martina. This one she has a good play on. Seles is way out of position, and she pulls her racket back. And that could turn out to be very, very costly. Instead of serving with 2 break points at 15-40, it's 30-all. Break point now for Navratilova. You might heard her say, go down the middle when you're in trouble. Please keep it in play. Don't miss it wide.
Her forehand has certainly been working well for her today. Again, a good return of serve. Takes it. She loves that forehand. She's been taking it up the line. That one she drew cross court. Imitating showing us that she didn't move her feet to that ball. That serve didn't come through. And on this surface, if you don't get your feet up to the ball, it doesn't come to you. It sort of slows down when that's grass.
That's long.
Advantage with Seles.
You can see the frustration. She's really had a chance in this game.
Yeah, break points loom large.
I think, Tony, the way that Seles strikes her second serve, it's difficult in the ad court for Seles to get the second serve to the Martina backhand.
Seles had to let go with one hand, misses the attempt at the passing shot, and another break point for Martina. See, Betsy, I think that actually that Seles wants to serve the second serve to Martina's forehand to make her have to swing at it if she's going to come in instead of the underslice on the way in that she's so comfortable with on the backhand side. This one stays up, Bets, right here.
And then Monica's got all kinds of time to Many choices on that one.
The topspin forehand, it was about waist high.
Martina moving over. She wants to hit a forehand.
Seles holds and leads 3-2, final set. The serve at 2-3, and you see the Seles family there. Very intent. Mother gets so nervous she makes notes.
15 love.
She makes notes just to keep her hands busy, something to do so she doesn't bite her fingers off.
I've asked her what she writes down, and she says, well, she writes down Monica's laundry list, anything. You don't often see Monica look up either in the box at her family, and you can just see that this match is so very, very important to her. Having missed it last year, she really wanted to come back this year and play her best, make the crowd and the whole country of England warm to her again. Her first semifinal appearance, her third Wimbledon. Good serve. This is good improvisation. Again, that return is tough. From that angle, she makes it drop in front of Navratilova, forcing her to play a half volley. Got a bad bounce off the grass.
And just like that, it's 2 break points.
15-40. 30-40.
Martina is serving well. She's getting a good percentage of first serves in. Still a break point for Seles. And a service ace. Seles begging a little bit, but it was certainly a good one.
I believe this is Martina's best serving day yet in this championships.
Well, another fine return. When you can make players half volley on a grass court late in the second week, it's chewed up a little bit. You get some irregular bounces. It's very difficult. So again, break point for Monica Seles.
That time, Navratilova made a good half volley. She's got some of the best hands in the game. Navratilova, she makes the half volley look easier than it is.
When she has to stretch for the forehand volley, she's not as good with it as she is the stretch backhand volley. She doesn't have the same feel. She doesn't quite get under the ball as much.
So a fourth break point.
This is when it gets tough. Seles has a break now. One of the few forehand approaches missed by Martina. Caught the tape. And now Seles' task is to hold 2 more serves, and she will be in the final. That can be a difficult task.
Love 15. Love 30.
Opening for Martina now. That's why I think she serves with a forehand on the second serve, because when Martina has to swing at it, she's more apt to make a mistake than she is when she slices the backhand approach.
And she'll make the winner, but she'll also make the error.
Wide.
30 all.
She comes in from a very deep position and pays the price with this topspin cross court. 40-30.
She said she was going to take some risks, and that was risky coming in off of her serve.
Martina took a double take when Monica gave the extra squeal, smiling.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Well, Martina had shaken her head earlier in a little disgust over the exaggerated grunt. That look was up to the umpire.
Here we go. Martina's going to complain.
Quiet, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you.
Everyone's getting involved in the match now. It's getting excited.
Advantage, Miss Navratilova.
That is her only double. As a matter of fact, it's the only double fall of the match by either player.
Quiet, please.
Break point for Navratilova. Martina breaks back. Seles leads 4-3, final set.
The hat on.
3-4, final set.
Love 15.
smart play from Martina that time. She had served and volleyed, gotten past on the first point. That time hit a big first serve in, stayed back and came in on the next shot. Good point from Martin. This is the first drop shot she's played in the match, drawing Seles in, and then holds and just throws up a slice lob right over the forehand side of Seles. 30-15.
Good. You can tell by Martina's reaction.
Good. This is a good pickup here. It's a tough return of serve, and that one lands right on the line. Seles just loves a target on the return, and Martina's certainly been giving it to her. That's her game, serve and volley.
Well, the good return made the rest possible. Return made Martina half volley. It was a short, weak one that sat up. Seles dealt with it, so she now has a break point. If she can convert, she'll be serving for the match. Well, Seles was bouncing around along the baseline back and forth, so Martina just stopped and looked at her.
That's just too good a backhand approach here. Is a good point from both players. Martina moves forward on this, takes advantage of it. Look how much slice she got on that backhand. Didn't bounce up at all. Landed short.
Yeah, it hit right in the corner of the service box and really stayed low.
Advantage with Seles.
Second break point. A terrific first serve by Navratilova, dealt with by Monica.
The last time Martina broke Seles, Seles turned right around and broke back. And if she does it here, that's the end of this match. Seles gets into this final.
Tremendous shots under pressure.
15 love.
It is plays like that that helped her win 9 singles championships here. Great forehand and then a pressure overhead. He called fault. She didn't hear the call, but Cyclops didn't go off, and it was very close. I think it's risky at this stage to come in on the second serve. I think Martina gets her first serve in. It's a good idea to come in. If not, she might be better off staying back and trying to work her way in.
Martina's first serve, she's serving with so much pace that she can't get in as quickly as she'd like. She's staying back on the first serve. I think maybe she feels the second serve gives her more time to get closer to the net.
That would have been a tough one for Martina to handle.
She looks pretty calm, doesn't she? It's a pretty tight situation, and we've seen Martina look much more nervous than this in this type of situation.
You're right.
And she's coming up with some big shots.
It's now match point.
30-40. Quiet, please. Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Martina again complaining to the umpire about the grunting. That's the pace on the Seles return, and the forehand volley that Martina didn't get under. And again, it's match point.
Quiet, please.
I think this was just swing it wide, try to take her out of court. She's done it.
Game, set, match with Seles. 6-2, 6-7, 6-4.
A disappointed Martina Navratilova, who fought her way back to get into this final set. She has nothing to be ashamed of. She played a tremendous tennis match.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of security, may we remind
against a younger opponent who is a veteran now in Grand Slam competition. So Monica Seles defeats Martina Navratilova 6-2, 6-7, 6-4. And Betsy, a very, very exciting tennis match.
Well, it really was. I think just the difference in the way they play provides for such exciting tennis. You've got the aggressive player against the counter puncher, although Monica Seles is so aggressive off the ground, and she's got to be ecstatic. Her first Wimbledon final.
She's trying to fight back the smiles, to be gracious. She has a right to smile. Waiting for Martina to pack up her gear.
Martina's, the family and friends and coaches stand up to cheer. Has to be pleased with her performance here. Didn't play a lot of matches coming into this tournament.
The Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness Duke and Duchess of Kent applauding as the players leave the court. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back with the second semi.
It was all too much for Martina Navratilova, and the umpire agreed, but in the end, age succumbed to noisy youth.
Crowded court. She's done it.
Seles meets Steffi Graf in the final. And the man who gripes as well as he grunts is through to the semi-finals. John McEnroe beat Guy Forget and will play Andre Agassi.
Remarkable because originally